All righty.
Hey, so this is going to be on Facebook. It's going to be on Zoom. It's going to be on social. We got all of the channels where people are going to be attending this, and so glad. What's the weather doing there right now, Saku?
Well, right this second, we are bracing ourselves for our next winter cyclone bomb or whatever the heck they call it. We had a major snowstorm and now it's all gone, and we're about to get another few inches of rain or something like that.
Yeah,
We're either swimming or skiing over here, man.
I love it. Well, it's been cold and snowy and blowy up in the mountains, up in the Lake Tahoe Mountains area. Down here in the valley, it's been pretty nice. You know, we get rain, we get sunshine. So have to decide whether to get out my golf clubs or get out my skis. So cool. Awesome.
It's a great problem to have, man.
I know, man. Hey, glad to have you here, Saku Pyle. So if any of you, maybe there's only one of you that have not heard of Saku. Saku, could you share a little bit about yourself? And let's just jump right into the 5 keys to crush it in 2024. Let's rock and roll.
Let's go. Let's rock and roll. Well, listen, man, my name is Sekou, man. I am a king maker or queen maker. I have been instrumental in developing over 15 top producing teams where they do well over 200 deals a year. I have a very simple ABC strategy to doing business, and it's not always be closing. It's attunement, buoyancy, and clarity, man. And that lends ourselves to what the topic of today is and will be. I believe that every agent within my ecosystem should be a millionaire. And so I only push for that kind of production. I believe that every agent in my ecosystem can do a deal a day if they lean in and they try. So I'm going to give you 5 tips today. Oh, I'm sorry. What'd you say, Trevor?
Oh, it just needs to be, but where are you at? Tell everyone where you're located.
I am in the Northeast. That is the North New Jersey, New York, Hudson County area. I am what I call a vertical market specialist, right? So all of my market, there's 500 units in each building. There's 500 buildings on each block. So I've got tons and tons and tons and tons of people that I have to market to. This is not a market where I can be passive and wait for business to come to me. I must go out. In an area where there's a bagel store in every corner, I got to make the world's greatest bagels. You know what I mean?
Awesome. Let's rock and roll. Everybody turn on your video because he's going to bring the heat. I don't care if you're still in your pajamas, but let's rock and roll. Here we go, Saku.
All right, though, ladies and gentlemen, so listen, this is going to be hard-hitting. I'm going to leave enough time for you guys to ask questions. Some of this stuff is going to be new to you. Some of this stuff is going to be damn new to you, okay? So first things first, I think that every agent 2024 should recognize that the market has changed so drastically that it is almost incomprehensible for the agent that is only going to do it the way that business has been done. I think that you should allow AI to do all of the things that you would almost have to dredge through, meaning your listing, your listing descriptions, your photo descriptions, your invitations, your open house descriptions, et cetera, et cetera. I don't think you should spend one moment of brain power on that. So your first tip for 2024 should be master the art of asking questions. You're going to ask AI to do stuff for you that you would normally have to trudge through. And so, Mark, the great way to do that is to learn how to ask the questions, to create great prompts for AI. So, for example, I'm going to give you one quick example. I believe that every agent should do an open house, at least one open house off hours every week. So if Saturday and Sunday is when you normally do open houses, I think you should do an open house Tuesday or Thursday or Wednesday. And as an example of what I'm talking about with AI, I believe you should ask AI to create the invitation. And so the way that I would ask AI to do the invitation would be, hey, I'm having an open house at an off hour for people who don't normally get to see open houses on the weekend, how would you construct an invitation to send to somebody that would come to an open house after work or after school or somehow or another in an off hour? The person that I'm looking to deliver this invitation to is motivated to buy, is looking to move in the next 3 months, and has already started looking on the internet and hasn't spoken to an agent yet. AI will spit out some amazing, amazing, wonderful things. And you may have to get it to recreate that invitation a few times before it gets to great. But what you won't be doing is spending 3 days putting together that invitation so that you can do that. So what I'm going to suggest you do is the tip number 1 is to leverage AI to automate as much as possible. Leverage AI to automate as much as possible. What in the place to be. All right. Tip number 2, and this is going to be key for your business. I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to define it, and then I'm going to refine it. I think you should develop your brand. Listen to me carefully. I think you should develop your brand so that it is audaciously big. I think you should develop your brand so that it is audaciously big. So we've got the big team umbrella, right? Under Tom Davies, right? We've got this big team umbrella.
EXP.
Right? We've got EXP, then we've got this big team umbrella, and then we've got this, and that. How does my brand align with all that's there, right? EXP is a cloud-based brokerage. Tom Davies is a national name, such and such and such. Where does my brand fit into all of that? What up, Big Blake? I see Blake over there in Scottsdale, Arizona. What's going on? All right, so listen, your brand, listen to me very carefully, Mark. Your brand is a name that reminds people of a story they want to be a part of. Your brand is a name that reminds people of a story that you want to be a part of. You like that, Douglas? That's a pretty decent explanation, right?
I like that.
So your brand is a name that reminds people of a story that they want to be a part of. Now, Blake, I'm going to take this to the next level for you. A premium brand, Mercedes, Lexus, Tesla, a premium brand is a name that reminds people of a story that they'll pay top dollar to be a part of. A premium brand is a name that reminds people of a story that they will pay top dollar to be a part of. So tip number 2 is to develop your brand to an audacious level. I want your brand, Tracy, to be a name that people are willing to pay an exorbitant amount to be a part of. Does that make sense? All right, 100%. So that leads to tip number 3. And this is in order, this is in good order for developing that brand, that name that people can see themselves being a part of and paying a lot of money to be a part of. Tip number 3 is to develop and refine your mission as often as possible. To develop and refine your mission as often as possible. So I'm going to tell you right now, Manny, my mission, right? So this is my coaching mission. My mission is to make millionaires out of every agent who leans in my ecosystem. Any agent that wants it can become a millionaire in my ecosystem. So that's my mission. And I state it and refine it as often as possible. So follow this pattern. If you got your pens out, if you got your notes, take this note. You're going to write it, record it, recite it, and repeat it. Write it, record it, recite it, and repeat it. So that means, Tracy, you're going to write your mission down. You're going to record yourself saying it. You're going to repeat, you're going to recite that recording, right? You're going to look at that recording and the way you say it, the tonality, the impression that you're making, right? Your brand. right? It's a name that reminds people of a story they want to be a part of. That mission is the story. So Mark, if I said to you, Mark, I only work with the top agents in the country, and my mission is to turn every agent in my ecosystem into a millionaire. My personal definition of a millionaire is that you never have to worry about money again in your life. Let me ask you this. Are you an agent in one of my ecosystems? You see that smile on his face? All right, y'all. So write it, record it, recite it, repeat it. Write it, record it, recite it, repeat it. Guess what, Gina? Every time you repeat it, it gets a little sharper. It gets a little bit better. It's like putting that knife or that sword or that axe on that whetstone and just over and over again and just sharpening it. That leads me to my next tip and point. All that you are doing, so this is point number 5. This is going to be key to exploding in 2024. All that you are doing is forward facing, right? Your mission, your brand, all of that stuff is forward facing, right? This is the introspective part. This is the key to making all that authentic. I want you to be the person that they say yes to before they know what the offer is. I want you to become the person that they say yes to before they know what the offer is. Now, Douglas is like, come on, man, that's easier said than done. What the hell are you talking about? The person that they say yes to before they know what the offer is. So this is the tip. This is how you refine that. I want you to take your process, your systems, your services, and I want you to put it through your own filter. I want you to put it through the filter. I want you to be your own customer, client, or prospect. I want you to say to yourself as the customer, client, or prospect, what is it that I'm receiving from this person that I could never live without? I want you to see yourself as your customer, client, or prospect. And I want you to say to yourself, what is it that I am looking for? What problem do I have that needs solving? What problem do I have that is more important than the money in my pocket? More important than the time that I spend in order to get there? More important than the energy that I expend to find this person? And I want you to take that and I want you to build on that a series of informational offers. So Trevor might say, I hope I'm saying it right, Trevor? Thank you. Awesome. Awesome. So Trevor might say to her client or customer, right, when you get me, this is no reflection on you, Trevor. I'm just going to give you this as an example. She might have said in the past, when you get me, you're going to get the best service you could possibly receive. I am going to be there for you. I'm going to answer the phone. I'm going to be Jane on the spot, et cetera, et cetera. If she asks herself this question today, how do I become the person that they say yes to before they know what the offer is? If she was to put herself through that filter, would she already expect the best service? Would she already expect to be treated well? Would she already expect to have somebody Jane on the spot? So that's not special. What is the special nature? What is the thing that makes you the person that they say yes to before they even know what the offer is? So you're going to build in your business, understanding their problems and their perspectives, the things that are clogging up their pipes, the things that are pebbles in their shoes, whatever the heck you want to call it. You're going to understand the thing that they are worried about is the thing that makes you most valuable. So tip number 5, become the person that they say yes to before they know what the offer is understanding the big issue of your clients, customers, and prospects. Understanding the big issue. Is finding a property the big issue for the client, customer, or prospect? I don't know. Is your market devoid of inventory? Maybe that is the big issue, right? Is winning the offer, winning the deal, the big deal? They've offered on every property that they've seen and nobody has accepted them. Maybe overcoming the objection, the pricing objection, is their big thing. What is their big issue and how do you help them? How do you become the person that they say yes to before they've even heard the offer? So Trevor, I would suggest that you develop a series of questions that you're not only asking your business, not only asking yourself, but you put yourself through the filter of your services and offers and see if they rise to the expectation that matches your mission and your vision, which then would define your brand, the name that reminds them of a story that they can see themselves in. And I'm going to give you a sub topic that'll tie everything together. You ready? So this is the exercise. This is the big exercise. This will change your life, change your business. I want you to tell your story, to write out or record, whatever your strength is, a story, a client customer journey story from soup to nuts. How did you meet them? What were some of the questions they asked you? What was their biggest problem, concern? What was their biggest obstacle? What was their pebble? How did you face that? Think about it like this: problem, right? So it's goal, challenge, solution, or goal, challenge, breakthrough. So the story goes, I'm going to give you mine. I was sitting in my favorite steakhouse. It's a place called Del Frisco's. It's amazing. It's expensive as hell, but they have this amazing, amazing drink that I love. It's called the Youth Serum. It's absolutely wonderful. I sit there for lunch a lot because I don't want to take my whole family there because I'd like to not spend $1,000 for a meal every time I go sit down and eat. So they know me very well there. And as I'm sitting there, there's a couple at the next table who I can overhear. They're a little bit frazzled. I can tell they were frustrated. You need the Youth Serum drink. I hear you, Jay. Listen, you got to have it. When you come east, I'll take you there. So when we go when I'm listening to this couple at the next table sitting there and they're frustrated, I overhear them saying that they couldn't believe that they couldn't get into the properties that agent had set up for them. They came into town specifically to see those properties, and now they're going home with nothing. I lean over and say, listen, I don't mean to be rude and I don't mean to interrupt, but I overhear you saying that. I happen to be a realtor. If there was one thing that you could accomplish today, what would it be? We need to see a property so that we can put in an offer so that we can have this investment, et cetera, et cetera. I say, I tell you what, continue with your meal. I'm going to get online and I'm going to see if I can get you into a property virtually before you leave this restaurant. Is that all right? Great. I do my thing. I'm a cloud-based realtor. I do my thing. I go out to my network of all the real estate agents. I find them 3 properties that fit their criteria. And while they're at lunch, I sit there with my computer and show them the 3 properties virtually. They put in an offer on one. They go back to their hotel and get back to the airplane. By the time they get to the airplane, I'm telling them that the other side has already counted their offer. By the time they land and wherever the hell they're going, we'll have a deal. Now, that is the way that I develop what is called my ICP. I, Igloo, C, Charlie, P, Peter. I don't know what the P is. I'm not good with that Alpha Bravo stuff. Igloo, Charlie, Peter, right? So I'm going to tell you now, if you develop your ICP, this is key, and then I'm going to shut up. You will know where to hunt for your clients, customers, and prospects. Right now, you guys are all, I see people from all over the country, but this is a West Coast thing. And my suspicion is that, you know, you guys get to do outdoor stuff way more than I get to do outdoor stuff, right? And if anybody over here has ever hunted before, you know that if you want to find geese, you got to go where the geese are. If you want to find deer, you got to go where the deer are. Or moose, mises, whatever, you got to go where the mises are, right? So if you want to find your ideal client profile, if you want to find your ICP, you better go where they are. So that story I told you was completely fictional, but you could see it happening, right? And so what happens is now they call it the RAC, reticular activation, RAS, I'm sorry, reticular activation system. So now my reticular activation system is activated. And now whenever I'm at Del Frisco's, guess what I'm looking for? My clients and customers. Del Frisco's is not a cheap spot, so I'm definitely going to find somebody in the economic brand that I'm looking for, with the kind of mindset that I'm looking for, with the kind of motivation that I'm looking for. I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I do between 15 and 20 deals a year based on that ICP. And I go hunting for it. So I see Gina over there. Gina's got nice, pretty long hair. I don't have nice, pretty long hair, right? Gina, do you ever go to a salon to get your hair done?
No, I have a private hairdresser,
Excuse
but I
me.
have. I know.
No,
Just a
wait,
dear friend.
that fits. I love it. Gina, you have a private hairdresser, right? You have a private
I do.
hairdresser. Your private hairdresser has other clients.
Yes.
Would that client profile be valuable to you? Is she cheaper than going to the regular salon?
She is, only because she's a good friend of mine.
Okay.
She's not cheaper for other people.
She's definitely not cheaper for other people. So that means that she would fit a client profile that sort of matches your mentality and mindset, right?
Yes.
Have you ever
Yes.
farmed her clients?
I have not farmed her clients. I've farmed her neighborhood, but not her clients.
Let's farm her clients. So create an ICP around a professional woman or professional person. I'm assuming that she does all types of hair, professional person who can afford a personal hairdresser to come to their house and do their hair and to chit chat about this and that and sneakers and hats. And I guarantee you one of her clients is either selling or buying a home in the next 3 months.
Awesome.
So all of us here have that ICP if we just take the time to develop it. Okay, so your brand, right? So you're going to develop your brand. That's the name, right? A name that reminds people of a story that they can see themselves be a part of. And Tracy said, I'm going to be a premium brand, damn it, because they're going to be able to spend top dollar to be a part of that story, right? Your mission, right? Your mission is the story that they want to be a part of, right? Right? Then what you must do is you must take yourself and be audacious. You must be audacious in the way that you perceive yourself, your brand, your service, your et cetera, right? Listen to me carefully. If you're gonna do it big. Right? If you're gonna do it big. So make sure that the mission is in alignment with your team, your brand, your company, et cetera. And if I'm gonna do it, Mark, I'm gonna be the best damn agent in EXP. I'm gonna be the best agent on the team. They're gonna be looking for different awards to give me. Right? And so the idea that you can take this to the next level is completely locked in your brain. It is locked in your brain. It is as big and as deep as you tend to be, so that you're going to write out this story. You're going to write out the story that reflects your mission, your vision, your clientele, your ICP. Does that make sense? And Manny, I don't want you to be logical with this crap. I'm not looking for reality. I'm looking for the extraordinary. I'm looking for your ideal client profile, not the normal client profile. What up, Stacy? I'm not looking for the reg deg. I'm looking for the extraordinary. Does that make sense, y'all? Okay, let me shut up and get some questions. Did I do a good job, Tom?
Oh, man, you crushed it. I love it.
Big
That's
Steve.
good. Okay, we got 5 more minutes. Let's go rapid fire. If you've got a question, don't be shy. Someone else is probably wanting to ask the same damn thing. So let's go. Who's got a question? Spout it out, or an aha, or a nugget, anything. Let's go.
I see Mark. See Treva. Go ahead, Mark.
How do you keep track of everything? What are your systems? What's your team like? When you build the interest in the volume, being audacious, how do you handle that volume, and how do you not harm your brand by not following up and taking care of clients?
Okay. All right. So Eric, that's 2 parts. Eric, the worst crime you could commit on my team is not following up. I will fire you in 2 seconds for not following up. The most expensive thing that you have is your word, and your word is, I'm going to follow up, or I'm going to get that information to you. So that's number one. We always follow up. Number two is, I built my team slightly different. I build every team slightly different. I start with revenue, right? I start with revenue, and then I go to support. So I go principal, supportive agent. So I go, let's say it like this. Let's say I'm the team leader. I go team leader, showing agent. Then I go buyer's agent, showing agent. Then I go support. And what happens is, and Eric, to answer your first question is, I'm a very messy admin. I do not do admin well. So I hire at the top levels of admin using the revenue. So if an admin is, you know, 15,000 or 20,000 a year or $5 an hour or something like that, I admit I will pay twice or even 3 times as much because I have a messier system. Okay, so watch this. It starts with revenue. I hire top line agents that have 100 deals a year in mind, even if they've only done 3, right? I push them for production. Production causes the support to be necessary. We buy the top level support so that we never miss a transactional deal. Does that make sense to you?
Yep.
Okay, so the mindset of my agents drive the mindset of their support. That makes the support phenomenal. I do not miss a deal. I will often, check this out, I will often have to circle back around because I'll have to fire an agent that was not productive with their follow-up. So I'll often have to follow up with people that have been missed because I fired the agent. Does that make sense, y'all?
Yep.
So premier at the top is production, support, then we clean up to progress. I hope that answers your question. So start with production, then go to support, then go to progress. Go ahead, Mark.
I like the thought about doing open houses on off days.
Yes,
That's
sir.
an aha moment for me.
Yes, sir.
I typically work outside the box, and I don't know why I haven't thought of that yet. So thank you. Thank you for that nugget of information.
My pleasure. I'll tell you a true secret. Within 5 days of joining my team, you already have to have an open house schedule.
Yeah.
So whether you are a listing agent or not, within 5 days of joining my team, you have to have an open house schedule. And 9 out of 10 times it's an off-brand open house. We get 25% of our deals reaching people that would have never come into our open house on Sundays.
I love open houses. I think that's where my strengths are. I love meeting people, talking to people, getting to know them face to face, one-on-one. And it always turns into a good follow-up for me. Every open house that I do on the weekend. Now I'm going to expand that from Saturday and Sunday to a Tuesday and a Thursday.
Last tip with open houses, broadcast it. Just do a live from your open house, broadcast it. Let them know every week when you do your open house, do 15 to 20 minutes from your open house, broadcast it live on your social media platform. And then put a call to action. If you want to put an offer on this, or if you want to see something else, contact me here. Go, Treva.
Number one, love the information, love your energy. You can't help but get excited. The question I had was when you were talking about your brand, telling a story that people want to be a part of. Can you give me some examples of what that would look like? Or, I mean, because I'm thinking of the brand name being long if I'm telling a story. So can you give me some examples?
What do you picture when you picture Home Depot?
What do I picture?
Yeah.
Lots of
You know,
tools.
Lots of tools. Do you picture weekend projects?
But that's because I know what it is.
Okay, that's fine. Home Depot is 2 words and it creates a story around it. So we have to do every time we go live, every time we market a property, every time we list something, is create the story around the property. So do you live in the valley or do you live in the mountain?
I live in Denver.
So you live in Denver. Are you high up? Are you above that snow cap? Are you below?
Well, it's still cold here, but we're below.
Okay, so the story here is you're close to the skis, but you're not freezing your knees off or whatever. You know, this is not like you can have a story of the lifestyle in Denver, right? So I'm from the East. Everything west of me is country, as far as I'm concerned. What is the story that you could tell me that would make me go, oh, Denver is not country, it's city, it's this, it's that, the food, the life, the living, et cetera, et cetera. You tell that story, then every time I hear your name, I'm going to attach that story to your name. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope that was clear. I hope that was a clear
Yeah,
enough.
that helps, for sure. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Tom, I know we're right up against it. I don't want to go over. I don't want to be disrespectful.
Yeah. Well, hey, this is awesome. Saku, I thank you so much. You brought in the heat. So, hey, have a special announcement. Next Wednesday on our Atomic Habits, we have none other than Glenn Sanford, our founder, our CEO. He is going to be at Atomic Habits, 9 a.m. Pacific. You need to invite everyone you know, all of your friends, other companies, everybody. It's going to be huge. That's this next, that's Wednesday, the 17th, 9 to 9:30 Pacific. So thanks, everyone. Y'all got your inspiration. Time to put in a perspiration. Thanks, Saku. Love you, brother. See
Hey,
ya.
anytime, man. Later.
Bye
Thanks,
now.
Q.